Hi, this is Mark, and I'm in super sunny Redwood City doing my reading from the Golden Present Daily Inspirational Readings by Sri Swami Satchidananda. And here facing the street of Middlefield uh, and I don't know, but I'm in front of the San Mateo County History Museum and in front of the Fox Theater. And this is for September 27th, and the topic is even once. We can all pray, Thy will be done. It's all your grace. It's all for good. We believe it, but when it comes to putting that belief into practice, we might fail because the mind is not yet clean. A prayer is heard if it is uttered even once in a clean mind. Even once. You don't need to repeat the prayer hundreds of times. No, God is not deaf. There is no need to repeat it again and again and again. You don't even need to say it out loud. He knows even your thoughts. But he also knows we are all hypocrites. We don't really mean what we say. We often pray just for show. God knows all that. So if we say it even once with complete sincerity, just once, that's all he needs. Right away I think about this concept of a God who's, knows our thoughts and knows what we're praying for, or even the thought of prayer. And what comes to mind is to also offer what I see as my understanding of this, and that's that it's my highest self that already knows what the prayer is. There's this part of me that when my mind is clear, when I'm not in a state of agitation or frustration, that I know what's the right thing that needs to happen, and I don't even need to think it through. So it's that kind of space that I believe, when we talk about God in this reading, that's what becomes available to us, is just full clarity and this absence of needing to explain it to yourself, try to talk yourself into something. It's usually when there's something that isn't what we really want or really need that we find that we need to talk ourselves into it, try to find friends who will agree with us on those ideas. But it's that truest, highest part of ourself that already knows, what we need to do. But I know for me, he's talking about we're all hypocrites because we don't really mean what we say. I feel like a lot of times I'm not really sure of what it is that I feel like I need to tilt this back. It's sliding. All right. We aren't clear, and so what can we do that helps to bring some clarity, to our mind? And that's why I really recognize, for me, meditation and then a practice of yoga. It creates that space where I'm connecting the mind, body, spirit. I'm working from a more integrated place in how all that functions, rather than relying on one part of myself, one aspect of myself to know what to do. It's like if my leg were to hurt, and so I'll ask my arm, what should I do? It's like the arm seems like, I don't know. I don't even feel connected to it. It's finding a way to listen to that leg, and have the whole mind and heart and mind that is governing this body, and then even the higher power or highest self that's, the master of this body, be able to have space to communicate. But if there's all kinds of noise, and if all the other limbs are complaining about their issues, then you're not going to hear what the leg needs. So I feel like in that practice and over time, there's the ability to really listen, and I feel like that's often what often doesn't get to happen. There's not a listening practice. We mostly have I mean, we definitely absorb ourselves with like social media, like this, for example. Yeah, maybe this is hypocritical. Hmm. Well, I feel like my highest self, and I would even say your highest self, knows if this is useful or not. You know, if you're going to spend the time to watch this, if there's anything that maybe even is not about the words that I'm sharing, but just this simple practice of what this whole thing has been about, has been something to tap into. And so you're tapping into that because you're not going to remember anything I've said tomorrow, days from now, and that's the way it is even with like some movies I've seen and books I've read and conversations I've had with friends. You don't remember every element, but the essence of what was there, of how it affected you, remains, and that's what's important. And that to me is again shifting into that state of more of the higher conscious self, that God within you, if you want to call it that. So I like here. There's sometimes in the yogic practice. Here come the umbrellas on the noisy cart. They put up umbrellas, which are much needed as I'm trying to protect my own eyes here. Um, but where was I? Oh, how in yoga we repeat some of the mantras over and over, and actually in my meditation practice, that's what I do. And you could say, well, why? What's the bother? You just don't even need to say it. You can just think it. I think it's because I recognize I do need to continue to help raise up my vibration and my relationship with this highest self. It's constantly getting other messages. No, that's not important. Just go and go get a vegan cake instead. And that's what's important. So I think I'm getting um, what would the word be? Not sunstroke, it's not that extreme, but I'm distracted but also attracted to this intense warmth. It feels so good. I'm just going to leave it there then. All right, thanks for watching. See you tomorrow.